Hello. That was the dumbest hello I've ever said in my life. Ignore the quality of this video. It's on a terrible webcam on a computer underneath shelves of all you can think of. No, it's just cardinal antiques and marine flags in a marine cup. And that's basically it. So, I've consulted many websites, and I have seen many adults that have gone through global cooling, or at least what people thought was global cooling, and global warming, what people say is still going on, but no. I am a, crap, I forgot the name of it. Bogus. It's bogus person because, and I've looked on NASA. Also, I've heard Matthew a lot. I'm looking at you. Basically, what I've seen is this isn't going to be all the way based on temperature. This is just one little skit. The temperature for both of my cities just does this. Up and down. And sometimes, after like a brief period, it'll just do this. Be like small little hills. Not a mountain. And that's told me that in those two cities in the northern hemisphere, I pointed down for the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, both of my cities, which were major cities, Seoul and Sydney, didn't really have high temperatures over the last hundreds of years. But I've heard Mr. Lowinger apparently that keeps going up like this. Also, I have a question. How does throwing a bottle outside affect global warming when it's not on fire? It's just littering. Also, from hundreds of years ago, which is, I've said this last time, but from hundreds of years ago, we started using, like, carbon dioxide came out of our things, like cannons. And we've been using those things for hundreds of years. And just now, has it got to the point where people are actually realizing it? So I think that if they just came up with that theory now, and we've been using carbon dioxide for a very, very, very long time, that it wouldn't have just appeared out of the blue like that. And I know carbon dioxide is one minor factor, so are the ice caps. Bleh. So, another question. How are the ice caps melting? Well, not how are they melting. Sorry I'm talking slow, I'm just trying to think of what I'm gonna say. Basically, I thought of what Curtis thought of, where if the ice melted, the volume, so if we put ice in a cup and then poured some water in there, it would, and then put the ice in, pretend I put the ice in second instead of first, the volume would go up because you put the ice in. Meaning, if you melted that ice, it wouldn't go higher because the volume stays the same. It would just add the exact same volume over and over again. It would just, like, pretend this is the ice. Boom, melted a little bit. Stays the same, but the ice, there's less of it. Boom, melted a little bit. Volume stays the same, there's just a little bit more ice. Boom, it melted a little bit. Still has the same volume as if you would put in the ice. Also, Mr. Lowing talked about exhaust and how they put bans on certain exhausts, like not bans on certain exhausts. If your car exhaust gave out too much carbon dioxide, you couldn't be able to drive. Okay. And you asked, if global warming wasn't happening, why would we do that? Well, it was a rhetorical question, but I still have an answer. Because we would be breathing in that carbon dioxide every time a car went by. Also, I know I'm turning into Matthew, but if carbon dioxide went through the atmosphere, we're not Venus. I know I'm taking that from Matthew, but it's a good point. We're not his only good point. We're not Venus, and we don't have a thick atmosphere that traps in heat. So what we are is Earth, for all those people. And our atmosphere isn't as thick, and carbon dioxide can go through. Not a lot of it, so pretend this is carbon dioxide. There. It'll go through, a little bit of it will go through, but this keeps trapped out from the atmosphere. At least I think. We don't have a thick atmosphere. Ours is actually pretty thin, meaning carbon dioxide could get out and just float around in space. So, I'm spinning a lot, it's just fun. If we had that thick of an atmosphere, we would be dying of heat because of the sun, and Venus, this little ball right here apparently, because my hand is Venus, that's why it is the hottest planet in the solar system. Its atmosphere. We don't have an atmosphere like Venus. That's why we're a Goldilocks planet. Is it Goldilocks or Lock? Goldilocks or Goldilocks planet. I don't know. Otherwise, it would be too hot, or if the atmosphere was too thin, it would be too cold. Like, for instance, Mars. I don't know if its atmosphere is thin, I just know it's very cold there. That's why it has ice. So, if carbon dioxide, it's a pretty thick gas going through a thin atmosphere like that, that should be pretty easy. I know most of it will be trapped inside, but it can come out. Causing us to not have to worry about the heat, which is what every legit people are saying, how it's heating up the world and it's going to destroy it. If we had an atmosphere so thick that the carbon dioxide could go through, then it would be too hot to live. Okay, and on to my next point. Mr. Lowen said, I'm calling out Mr. Lowen a lot. Mr. Lowen said how the water would cool down the magma. This is the water. This is the magma. The water would cool down the magma, causing the... Pretend that's a volcano. I'm using my hands a lot. I'm going to stop. Causing the volcano to erupt because the water dried. Don't you think they could have just went through a drought? Okay, maybe it's a very wet area. That doesn't mean that it... That doesn't mean that it can't go without some rain in a couple weeks. Meaning the water could dry and it would cause the volcano to erupt, making all the plants and that and stuff, which makes the ground even more dry, making them have irrigation systems. So, all of that proof I've gotten. I agree with Ethan. All of that proof I've gotten has proven it to be fake. But I don't know that because I'm a 10-year-old that is dumb and stutters, as you could see when I said that. So, yeah, I'm not that smart. I don't think I ever will be. And, bye! Give the questions to the actual Colton, don't talk to the screen, okay? Good.